Do complex legal issues hold you back? Let's get energized and bring clarity to your top legal questions. This is Law Talk with the Flock by Goosmann Law Firm. Welcome to Law Talk with the Flock. I'm your host, Jeana Goosmann, CEO and managing partner of the Goosmann Law Firm, author and business leader, here to help navigate you and your way through your life as a business owner and the law, as well as your leadership. So with me today, I am very excited. I have a special guest for my episode. I have with me banker Colin Tague. Colin is the Vice President of Commercial Services at the Sioux City Security National Bank. And today we're going to talk about COVID-19 and the impact it's had in the banking industry and in our business community. Welcome, Colin.
Thanks, Jeana. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I'm super excited to have you here. I've worked with you for a long time. In fact, your wife and I were both involved in Rivercade.
Yes. You guys go back a while.
That goes back a long time. We were just reminiscing about that. I think I was 21 when I was involved in that. And it was a good time. And so we've known each other quite some time and been able to work together professionally as well in the banking business. So
yes.
I'm excited to have some of your insight today and to hear what else you're hearing and seeing as far as all these changes that we've had. It's been a crazy time, hasn't it, Colin?
It sure has been a crazy time, unprecedented. So we're all just trying to do the best we can.
That's right. And so, Colin, what are some of the client issues that you're seeing in the industry right now due to COVID-19?
So what I'm seeing from our chair is, the PPP program kind of rolled out really quickly, which I had to in order to get payroll funds out to these businesses who've been affected. But there's been, some lack of clarity and lack of certainty of how to do this and make sure that the bank's protected from issuing out, the loan money, and then also from the employer's perspective, make sure that they can qualify to get as much of this loan forgiven as possible.
Absolutely. And it's frustrating, isn't it? They're kind of writing some rules after the fact.
After the fact, as we go, so communication is definitely key.
And they're changing things up too, aren't they? I remember in the first go round, it was like, here's application 1. Oh, wait, no, they got a new application.
Yeah. And then I love the interim final guidance that they rolled out the day before it went live. So.
And even now, I know the IRS is putting out different guidance, and they said if the loan forgiveness won't be taxed, but then they came out and said, well, expenses aren't going to be allowed to be deducted if you use PPP funds. And well, that's kind of a curveball too.
It is, yeah. So I always encourage my customers is rely on your team. Rely on your banker to help you with getting the loan proceeds. Consult with your CPA so they're giving you the best tax advice, and also your attorney as well to make sure that all boxes are being checked.
Well, I think that's great advice, Colin. And that's where we like to go with the team approach too at the law firm, right? Because not everybody can wear all hats. And when you have a strong team around you, it really helps because when there's a lot of uncertainty, you need different kinds of guidance. That's
right.
So what other, any particular industries or types of businesses in particular that you think are being impacted?
Sure. I think I'd say most businesses are impacted in some way or another. A lot of the service industries obviously are impacted more. Some are shut down completely. Some are reduced to, like restaurants, for example, carry out, maybe delivery only. And then a lot of the medical fields are also affected. A lot of their elective surgeries and procedures are put on hold. And hopefully those can get back on board soon. So really across the board, a lot of people have been affected to one degree or another.
And I do know that community banks have been championed throughout this process, even in the national media, and having those strong relationships. What kind of things are you doing to try and reach out and communicate with your customers, given we can't go to the chamber mixer, right?
Right. Yeah. So that's the key is you want to take care of your current customers first. If they want to take advantage of this program to be able to get their applications in, get them approved and get their funds secured. Then also we got a lot of calls from non-customers as well that, either the current bank was too busy, couldn't get their application in, on time, and the customers just wanted that surety that they can get their loan proceeds. So we've helped non-customers as well, knowing that this is a transaction, and just to be there for them in this time.
Sure. And I bet you're looking to try and build some more new long-term relationships as a result.
Yeah, we are. We're always looking to grow, and any way we can. If it's an opportunity there where they want to move over their relationship to us, great. If it's just, hey, help us out to get this PPP program funding in place, we're there to do that too.
You bet. And Colin, what markets do you serve at Security National Bank?
I serve the Sioux City market. My market area is typically within about 100 miles of here. We have branches in Sioux Falls and throughout Northwest Iowa. I typically focus on Sioux City and the surrounding metro.
You bet. And any other advice for business leaders as they're looking to work on their banking needs at this time?
I would just say a lot of them did take the PPP loan proceeds. So what I would say is to keep reading up on that to make sure that when it becomes time to submit your records and stuff to get that forgiven, to do so and to get as much of that forgiven as possible, just so you're not taking on debt during this kind of challenging times for the economy. Even though it is at a low interest rate, the payback is over 2 years on any remaining balance. So just making sure you're capitalizing on that as much as possible. And another thing I would say is a lot of customers are they're doing fine now, but they're possibly experiencing some slow pay from their customers. So just make sure they're collecting on those receivables as much as possible.
Absolutely. And just because you have a receivable, it's not cash in the bank until it's actually collected, right?
That's right. Yep. And as funds get lower and lower, those receivable days could stretch out longer. So you want to just stay up on your collections.
Absolutely. So watching those AR balances and making sure that you're communicating with your customers to make sure that you're getting paid for work that you're doing as well. That's great advice too, Colin. And anything else that as far as how we can help at this point in time with business leaders and business owners?
I'd say just communication and keeping, up to speed on these ever-changing rules of this program. I'm not an expert on it by any means, but I try to read up as much as I can, and just stay aware that it could change. This kind of the first half is done. People have their loans. Now they're trying to figure out, okay, how do we get those forgiven on the backside? So, and those rules are going to be rolling out here over the next several weeks.
I'm sure your electronic deposit program is really kicking up into high gear too. A lot of people are using more technology these days, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, from working from home to signing documents electronically where we can. Yeah, we've definitely have done more of that in the last 3 or 4 or 5 weeks than we have, I'd say ever.
It's changing the way people operate. Yeah. I know DocuSign is a great tool, and people are able to do a lot more through their email. And if they want to talk, using these great techniques like these video chats really help too. But just staying in communication, I think, is so important at this point in time.
Yeah, it is. And I think banks and also other businesses too will maybe become more efficient after coming out of this, maybe reduce some overhead as far as offices in brick and mortar buildings to go more remote. So there should be some positives that come out of this as well.
Some of us with little kids at home struggle to work from home though, don't we?
Yeah.
I really still appreciate having an office to go back to. I don't know about you, Colin.
I told some coworkers that I'd rather be in the office like I am today than work from home. I like my kids, and my teachers their teachers do a great job, but I didn't sign up to be a teacher. So I'm probably not doing as good a job as they are, obviously, but everybody's just making do with what with the hand that they're dealt. And I'm just trying to get through it as best as we can.
Absolutely. Well, having a positive outlook and a positive mindset always goes a long way.
You bet.
Thank you so much, Colin, for joining me today. And I want to remind our listeners too that we have our COVID-19 Toolbox at GoosmannLaw.com. So we're trying to keep people current on what some of the changes are in these laws as they come out. And I just want to make sure to remind everybody to continue to social distance, be safe, be healthy, and go make it worth it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for Law Talk with the Flock by Goosmann Law Firm. We hope you feel energized and ready to soar past your goals. Become a Flock fan and subscribe to our podcast for weekly episodes. Learn more at goosmanlaw.com.